And here we are again. I'm filming this on that orientation day um, in the library. I think this video will be seen a few weeks from now. To simplify radicals, or we could call radicals square roots, to simplify them, you do not press your calculator button and write square root of 20 and write down about 4.47. Simplifying means that we break down any and all square roots that can exactly break down, called perfect squares, and the others we leave as square roots. Well, here are some of the perfect squares. The square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3. You can see the rest that I've listed. Now, that list, folks, goes to infinity, so that would be a lot of homework to list them all, so that's not your homework to list them all. These are called perfect squares, and if you'd be in class with me, I'd say perfect people take their hats off, because teachers like perfect people. And so the square root of 16 is a perfect person, and they take their hat off when you ask them to. Thank you. Okay? The square root of 17 is not a perfect square. It would not take its hat off. So here's what we mean by simplifying. So I'm going to give you the square root of 20. If you need your calculator to help you, please go ahead. 1 doesn't really help us simplify any. So now let's say 4. Does 4 go into 20? It does. It goes in 5 times. So we write down the square root of 4 times square root of 5. The first step, everybody keeps their hat on. Now you say please, and you say please take your hat off. And square root of 4 is yes, I will. Square root of 5, please take your hat off. It won't. It's a jerk and keeps its hat on. That is considered simplified. Cool. Now we're going to ask to do the square root of 72. I'm going to show you a few ways to do the square root of 72. You look over, we need to see our list. We look over and see the square root of 4, and we say, hey, 4 goes into 72, and 4 goes into 72. How many times? It goes in 18 times. Cool. So we say square root of 4, take your head off. It will. Perfect square. We're not done until we are sure that 18 has been simplified. Does 4 go into 18? No. Does 9 go into it? It does 2 times. It goes in square root of 9 and square root of 2. Take your hat off. It will. And this is times. 2 times 3. And now we get 6 square root of 2. Now, somebody else might have done this, and they might have missed the fact that 4 went into 72. They just missed it. And they look, does 9 go into 72? It sure does. So they break it down into the square root of 9 and square root of 8. Cool. Take your hats off. They do. Now, before we go any further, we say, does 8 break down? Well, it sure does. It breaks into the square root of 4 and square root of 2. Square root of 4 is a regular 2, and we get 6 root 2. We get the same thing. Now, the quickest way to simplify is to look for the biggest perfect square. You look and say, 4 goes into 72, but let me look for a little bigger. 9 goes into 72. Let me look a little bigger. We look even bigger, and oh my goodness, 36 goes into it. And it is root 36 and 2. If you take the biggest possible perfect square, it goes quicker. They all work. And square root of 98. Oh no. Oh no, these don't go into 98. Oh no, these don't go into 98. Oh no. Oh yes. See this again. There it is, section 1.3, simplifying square roots.